Hello and welcome to this video. Today we are doing a crazy story time where me and my friend Jay went out and to this party and we seen some girl do cocaine, and the rest you'll see in this video. Anyways, let's just get right into it. Thank you for watching this. Like and subscribe and enjoy my first video. So, this story is kind of crazy actually. So this takes place with me, myself, and my buddy. We're gonna call him Jay. And so me and Jay have been friends for a little bit. I think now we've been friends for about 5 years, something like that. But back then we were still like fairly new homies. Anyways, he hits me up one day. He says, "Yo, you trying to slide?" And I was like, "You know what? I am." I was thinking maybe we might smoke a J, get a little bit faded and just, have a good time. Maybe eat some munchies. You never know what's going to happen. So I said, "Yeah, sure. I'll pull up." So he lived about 15 minutes or so, I'd say about 15 minutes away from me. And so, well, I wasn't walking there, my big fat ass. Ain't no way I was about to walk there. So I hooked up a ride and I was like, all right, let's go. I'll be there in about whatever amount of minutes, right? I got picked up in the vehicle by S. This was a girl I knew and I hung out with a little bit. I no longer hang out with her because we've kind of just gone our separate paths. Anyways, I get a ride there. I finally make it to Jay's house. I get there, I dap him up. We doing the, how you doing, bro? How's life? The bullshit you do when you get back together with a homie you haven't seen in a little bit. So we talking, we're trying to figure out what we're gonna do. Normally, when we would hang out, we would go to this guy's place. We'll call him L. There will be a lot of stories from this guy's place because this place was crazy. This might be a series. I'm not sure what I would call it. But if you guys want more stories from this place, this is the place where I can get some. So we hit up L. And he said, "Yeah, sure, you boys can come over. I'm going to have some people over." I think this was probably a Friday night. I want to say Friday. It could have been a Saturday night too, but usually I went to church on Sundays. Me being a good boy, I got to go to church. You know what I'm saying? So, anyways, I think it was probably a Friday. Anyways, he says we could pull up. So we start walking there. It was maybe like a 2 minute walk. He literally lived like down the street. I can vision it in my forehead.
What?
In my head. What am I saying? I can vision it in my head. You just walk down that road and boom, you're there. So me and Jay are like, you know what? Let's light up before we go. So we do our thing. We hit a little bowl. I think we only hit one because we didn't really want his mom to know that we were smoking. She did find out anyways, but we didn't want his mom to find out. Anyways, we get the bowl down and we're walking there. We finally get there. We pull up and there was L and his woman, and then there was me and Jay. And so me and Jay are chilling, and usually L, being the host, he would always have za that we could smoke. The rule with the za is, you give some, I give some, we share, like we're not being greedy with this shit. If you getting faded, I'm getting faded, we all getting faded, you know what I'm saying? If we got enough za for the function, we all getting faded. If we don't, if we got enough za for ourselves but not enough for everybody else, just let them know that. Be like, hey, I ain't got enough for all of us. I just got enough for me, Don't be greedy with that shit. Hate motherfuckers that be greedy with the motherfucking Zaza. Anyways, we're like, yeah, fuck it. Let's all take a bowl. So he had these fucking fat bowls. When I tell you this guy was a stoner, he was one of those people that was like, that is his only hobby outside of work. You know what I'm saying? He is smoking so much weed. It's crazy. So he has all this fucking crazy glass. He opens up like a shelf and it's like fucking a movie. You open that shelf and it's like, oh, it's crazy. It's nuts. And so he had a bunch of different glass. And so we all had our own and we all took a bowl, right? Faded as hell. We having a great time. And so L's woman says, hey, I'm going to go inside and go get some water. Do you boys want anything for snacks? And so me and Jay looked at each other and we're like, hell yeah, our fat asses want some snacks. And so we tell her that. We say, yeah, we want some snacks. And then she's like, okay, what you guys want? And we're like, shit, whatever you want to bring us. We don't care. We faded. And so she comes out with some snacks. We eat that shit up. So good. That was so good. That was back when I was like, 3 bowls would obliterate me. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, ate up those munchies and great time. Great time. And so then we're chilling there. And a few more people come. I think there was about about 6 of us total at this point in the night. I don't remember what time it was, but it was probably later at night, maybe like 11, I don't know. I was just having a good ass time, you know what I'm saying? Just chilling. And so about maybe 30 minutes ago before this has been talking to this female on the phone with his woman right beside, right? And so I'm confused because I'm like, why the fuck is he talking to a girl on the phone if he has a wife? I think it was his wife, maybe his wife or girlfriend. I'm just gonna call it his woman. Anyways, I was like, maybe they're like friends or something. And then yeah, I think now thinking back to it, actually, I think I remember L's girl actually talking with the girl on the phone. So maybe it was just a mutual friendship. They were all just friends. And so, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Whatever. There's another crazy story that maybe that wasn't so. Maybe that wasn't. What am I trying to say? Back on the fucking story. Holy shit. All right. So he's talking to this bitch on the phone for like probably 2 hours. And to be honest, I wasn't paying no attention to that bullshit. I could not care less. Whenever people are on the phone, I respect it and I stop listening because respectfully, I don't care about your shit and I don't want you to listen to my shit, so I'm not going to listen to your shit. You know what I'm saying? Like the only people conversation I listen to is maybe like my friends to maybe get like some data on what's going on in this situation. But that's normal, I think. Or maybe I'm just eavesdropping. I don't know. Maybe I need to mind my own damn business. Maybe I need to take my own advice. Anyways, so yeah. So he's talking to this bitch on the phone for a long ass time. And finally he's like, hey, are you guys okay with one more person coming? And so we all kind of were like, yeah, I don't care. Who is this person? We were like, who's this bitch? Because everybody that was there all knew each other. We were pretty frequent people, you know? Whenever there's a new person pulling up to the function, they always kind of got like a outsider stench, you know what I'm saying? They come out, they come in fresh and it's like, I don't know. You got to scout it out. And then, sometimes they're chill. Sometimes a new person comes and they chill as a motherfucker and you guys just have a good ass time. Not this time. So, yeah, finally this bitch shows up. You know what I'm saying? She shows up and she got dreads, right? She's white as a ghost, but she's got dreads. And so my first thing was I looked at Jay and me and him started giggling like a mug. The bitch didn't hear us though, I don't think. And so we were just giggling it up, like laughing about her dreads because we just not used to that. I live in Canada. We don't see dreads very often. When we do, it's usually just a black person. No offense. I love black people. It's usually just a black person or just like some crazy white person that's trying to experiment, bruh. Just an FYI, white people, bruh. Dude, just stick to the white hairstyles. Do not try and style your hair black or anything. It's not worth it. It is not worth it. Anyways, I'm totally off topic. So this bitch pulls up and she's got these dreads and when she walks in, she has this energy. It's kind of like, when someone's off a little bit. Like you can tell when someone's high. And then you can tell when someone's a little bit more than high, like they're off like a little bit more. They're just like a little bit past that point of like, oh, you're just fried as fuck. It's like, no, you're fucked up. You know what I mean? Like you're not good right now. Anyways, so she comes in and she's kind of like a little bit jittery. And so at first I'm thinking like, maybe she's like taking an Adderall or something. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe she's just tweaking a little bit. Maybe she had an energy drink. I'm trying to make the best of it. Me and Jay are chilling. We're just smoking. And so she takes a bowl. And so we were like, all right, maybe she's just here to smoke some weed and then she's going to dip. So we chilling there. About an hour goes by and we're still chilling, right? We're all having a great time, great time. So finally, me and Jay talking, and we're talking about some bullshit. We're talking like, oh man, what is the point of life? You know what I'm saying? Some bullshit like that. We were faded as a mug, and this bitch pulls out this little bag, and so then my first initial thought was like, oh shit, she's got a little baggie of keef, and then I was like, that's a pretty big bag of keef. Like, I know like you can get like a lot of keef, like you can buy a big bag of keef, whatever. But like this was a lot of keef, like a good amount of keef. And so I was like, and it was dark, so I couldn't notice the color until someone turned on a light while she was like trying to pour it out, and it was pure white. And I was like, okay, what the fuck is this? And so my first initial like instinct was like I think this is just fucking cocaine, bro. I think this is just coke. And so I'm sitting thinking to myself, I'm like, yo, I am definitely not ready for coke, man. This fucking 2 bowls just fucked me up. What the fuck am I doing around this cocaine shit, you know? And so, yeah, this bitch busts out like 4 lines. She takes all those lines and she's like fucking tripping, you know what I'm saying? L didn't take no lines as far as I seen, and neither did his woman. But yeah, this skinny bitch with the dreads, she was taking hella lines, right? And so she's like just fucked up. She's fucking tapping her leg. Like I remember her, she would just look like she looked like somebody that was really agitated and was just furious, like ready to get their fucking rage on. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah. So I just lost my train of thought for a second. All right. Yeah. So she was so fucked up, and her and L, her being the dreadhead girl, L started like they were bickering back and forth. They were talking about something. They were getting a little heated, you know, just some friendly banter, no like bullshit, you know. And they're like, then it starts becoming more than just friendly banter. It's like a little bit of shouting, a little bit of this, you know how like it becomes like a discussion, and then it becomes a little bit of a yelling match, and then a screaming match, and then it's just full blown fucking arguing and yelling, you know. This was more like it slowly built up. Like it took a little bit more time than usual. It could have been that I was faded and maybe I was just experiencing it at a different time than them. You know, I was on another planet. But it was slowly building up. And so holy misspeaking. And so me and Jay are just chilling there, and we're just kind of like in confusion, you know. We're trying to figure out like what the fuck is going on. Why are they getting heated? And so we just stay out of it. We don't want to be a part of this shit. We're not trying to fight nobody. Me and him are really peaceful dudes. We're just trying to chill, you know. We're not trying to fight nobody. We're just trying to hang out, have a good time with y'all, and then dip out at the end of the night. You know, we're just trying to have a good time with anybody we can, you know. Just enjoy your time. Anyways, they get heated as fuck. They start throwing punches. Okay, no, well, wait. Okay, hold on. Rewind it. They started getting heated as fuck, dude. They were full-blown screaming, and finally, they just decided, let's just take this outside. Her and Elle were, basically at this point, they were like squared up to each other inside the shed. And so they said, let's take it outside. So they all go outside. Me and Jay are kind of thinking to ourselves, like, do we want to go outside? Do we want to be part of this, you know? And obviously, fuck yeah, we want to go see this fight. We're faded as hell. This is the best entertainment we can possibly get. You know what I'm saying? This is the best entertainment you could get ever. So then this bitch is starting to throw punches at L. And keep in mind, L still has his woman. And let me give you a little description on L and his woman. L is a little bit shorter than me. I'm about 5'9". That's how tall I am. He was probably about 5'7", maybe 5'6". He was pretty short. He was pretty skinny, nothing crazy, whatever. His female, she was actually about the same height as him, actually. Probably about 5'5", 5'6", you know, just barely shorter than him. She was probably over 200 pounds any day of the week. No offense to her, nothing against her. I don't hate I I hate fat bitches, but I don't hate her. She's fine. She's a good girl, but I do hate fat bitches. Anyways, um yeah, I hate fat bitches, bro. If you don't know that about me, I hate fat bitches. I'm sorry. That knocked me off track. So they're fucking fighting, right? Elle and this female are fighting, and they're fucking throwing hands, like they're full on throwing punches, and like I remember them getting hit in the mouth. You know, they're you know they're hitting pretty hard. No UFC shit. You know, it's kind of like watching like fucking babies fight. But I mean, the one bitch was off a few lines, and she was pretty fucked up. So I think she might have been like, she could have probably thought she was off like a motherfucking, speed cola off that bitch. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. So, anyways, they're fighting and going ham, and me and Jay are losing it, dude. We're laughing our asses off, like laughing the shit. Like it was laughing so hard, and it was just the funniest thing. And finally, they hit the ground, and this is when this is when Elle's big bitch got in this thing. She got in this thing, and the fat bitch and Elle were okay. Nah, hold on. We got to get back on track, actually. So they finally hit the ground, and then Elle and his woman were actually like on the ground fighting this like girl that did the cocaine. And finally she starts screaming. She is screaming like insanely loudly. She's screaming so fucking loud. Like I'm talking neighbors probably heard that shit. Lots of people probably heard that shit. You know what I'm saying? And so me and Jay look at each other and we're like, fuck this. Let's start to leave. So we start walking away, and then we hear her start screaming, my leg, my leg, my leg. And so, we got a little intrigued. So we stay put a little bit longer, and we watching her, and she's like limping on her fucking leg. It doesn't look bad to us, but it's like really dark. It's like midnight probably. And she's like, oh, my leg, my leg's broken, whatever. And so then we hear, all right, I'm calling 911. And me and Jay just fucking left that bitch, right? We left that hoe. This video is long as fuck, dude. I'm gonna have to turn this into 2 parts, dead ass. But yeah, we left that shit, and then after that, we went to bed, right? And so you're probably thinking, well, is that the end of the story? No, that's not the end of the story. The end of the story, so we woke up the next day, and we were kind of fiending a little bit, maybe a little bit, and we hit up Elle again, and we first asked him. We said, "Hey, are you able to hang out? Like, how was that girl last night?" And he was like, "Yeah, she's fine. She just had to go to the hospital. Like, I think she had to get like something checked out, but she's good." So we are like, "Okay, as long as she's good, yeah." And so from what we heard from him, she was chilling, right? And so then, holy fuck, then we went over there and we started smoking weed with him. We were smoking up a little bit. I think we were smoking a blunt. Actually, we were just passing it back and forth, just chiefing on that shit. You know what I'm saying? And then, oh man, this is hard to remember. Then Elle started talking about something, and then we were there for a few hours, and so it got later and later. And finally, he got a call, and I recognized the same voice from that call from the girl from the other night. So I'm like, oh shit, like we need to listen in. So I start eavesdropping. Speaking of that, we were talking about that earlier. And so I start eavesdropping, and I'm listening to that shit, and she's talking about some broken leg, and she's got to pay. No, she ain't got to pay no money. We got free healthcare in Canada, but she's talking about she broke her leg and that she could press charges on him, and she talking about some bullshit, and she's getting mad at him. And so me and Jay just look at each other and we're like, oh, hell no. And so we ask him if he wants us to leave, and yeah, he asked us to leave. So on that note, that was this good story. Well, I guess I can't call it good. I'm the motherfucking guy who had it happen. So I mean, it's up to you guys to know if it's good. I hope you guys enjoy this. I'm gonna try and cut out some parts that are stupid, but yeah, this is I'm trying this content out because I think I might enjoy making story type videos, and I do got a lot of stories to tell. So just let me know if you want more. See ya.